How do Plastic Man's pants stay up while he keeps changing sizes? It's all in the elastic, man. Welcome to Comic Book Editions Volume 240. Today I have an AOK from Steve's DC Super Stars to share with you. You know my Justice League of America Volume 1 collection that I'm working on? I have an update for you on that. I made a purchase because of Steve's DC Super Stars. He inspired me to make this purchase, and I'll share that with you as well in today's video, among other things. It's an all DC haul because of my friend Steve's DC Super Stars and a shirt that I'm wearing for his cat Roscoe. Welcome to today's Comic Book Editions Volume 240. I'm so happy that you're here for it. Last month, Steve's DC Super Stars, who's on Instagram, surprised me with an AOK. He had reached out to me and asked if there were any digests that I was looking for. I'm a digest fan, digest collector. And so I sent him a list of the ones I had, and he did some checking. He said, I have a couple that aren't on your list that you don't have, and I'd like to send them to you if that's okay. And I said, awesome. So I knew what was coming. Otherwise, I would have shared the unboxing with you when I got the package last month. But one thing that he did include that I wasn't expecting, a total surprise for me, is this awesome Wonder Woman journal. It's a 3D journal. Love the classic DC style guide, Garcia Lopez artwork that's on the front. So thank you so much, Steve, for thinking about me and sending this my way as well. I really appreciated it, and it put a huge smile on my face. By the way, Steve isn't on YouTube, but he's on Instagram, and I left a link for his Instagram page in the description for this video if you would care to follow him. He does post some really unique and awesome, all DC-oriented content on his page. I always love it. Steve and I have so much stuff in common. Besides liking the same comic book characters, we seem to like the same music, we like the same TV shows, some of the same celebrities, so it's always an easy and fun conversation. I consider Steve one of my super friends. That means he's one of my core friends because I know that I'm always going to have an awesome conversation with him because we have so much in common, and I learn stuff from him, and he shares stuff with me, and I share stuff with him too, and it's just an awesome friendship. I appreciate him so much. So let's get into these digests that he sent. I know I need to get these into bags and boards. I wish Comic Clear Supplies, and I say this every time I show digests and then I send the link to them, I wish they would do some clear digest-sized bags and boards. And now that DC Comics is doing these larger 16 by 20 comic books, I wish that they would do bags and boards for those as well. That would be pretty awesome. Here's an Adventure Comics issue that was published in 1983. Gil Kane doing the cover. So by this point, I mean, Adventure Comics, they had been an original comic book since the Golden Age. They had been a reprint comic book. They had been a 100-page giant comic book. Sometimes they had different characters like Supergirl or Legion of Superheroes or Aquaman be their headliner or their flagship in the book. At this time, they were digest size, and this was getting towards the end of Volume 1 of Adventure Comics. And mostly, these were reprints that they were issuing at this time. This issue, which is $4.96, has a Challengers of the Unknown story. Then it has a Supergirl story, which is reprinted from Action Comics number 287, originally published in 1962. Aquaman story from Aquaman issue 45, 1969, and it's that great, if you're familiar with that Aquaman cover, where he's laying on the shore of the sea, and it says, with a sign on his chest, Aquaman, wanted, dead or alive. It's that issue that's reprinted in here. There's a Captain Marvel Jr. story. Then there's another Supergirl story. It's a reprint from Action Comics issue 289. We have a Golden Age Sandman story from Adventure Comics issue 77 back in 1942, and then it rounds out with a Spectre story from 1968 Spectre Comics issue number 3. I especially wanted this to help with my Supergirl collection. Now, Supergirl headlined this title from issue 381 to like 424, and that run I'm specifically working on, and you'll see some more of those issues that I've recently picked up and added into my collection but haven't shown yet in future comic book editions video. This is a little after but still features Supergirl, and so I still wanted it anyway as part of the collection. And thanks to Steve, I have it now in my collection. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, friend. He also sent the next issue as well. So this is issue 497, also from 1983, and also a Gil Kane cover. We have some of the same characters in this. We have Challengers of the Unknown with another story. This time we have a Superboy story from 1962. It's from Superboy issue number 98, and the Legion of Superheroes are featured in that story as well. Aquaman story from Aquaman issue 46 from 1969. The Marvel Family from the Marvel Family issue 1 way back in 1945. That story is reprinted in here. Then we have a Legion of Superheroes story from Adventure Comics Anniversary issue number 300 back in 1962. And then Spectre from Spectre Comics issue 4, 1968, rounds out the contents of this book. So awesome to have this. One more digest that was AOK to me from Steve. It's not an Adventure Comics. This time around, it's the Best of DC, and it's issue number 10. This was published just a couple years prior to those Adventure Comics I just showed you, 1981. This time it's Ross Andru doing the artwork with Dick Giordano inks. Love Dick Giordano. Regardless if he's inking or drawing, oh, he was so good. So this is our supervillains themed issue. And at this time, what they were doing pretty much was giving you one original story and then reprinting other stories. In this case, with an all-villains issue, they give you a new original story for Penguin, featuring Penguin's origin. Then we have an Ocean Master with his first appearance from Aquaman issue 29 back in 1966. Captain Boomerang's first appearance from Flash Comics issue 117 in 1960 is included. For Green Lantern, they didn't choose Sinestro, they chose the Shark. And his first appearance was in Green Lantern issue 24 from 1963. So some more Silver Age in there. Staying with the Silver Age, Shadow Thief, great Hawkman villain. His first appearance was in Brave and the Bold, issue number 36 in 1961. And at that time, that was one of a few Hawkman stories that reintroduced him into the Silver Age. So that's where that story came from. Red Dart is a character that I'm not a whole lot familiar with, but he's a Green Arrow villain. And his first appearance happened in 1958 in World's Finest issue 95. So that story, the Green Arrow story only with his first appearance, is included in here. And then you got to have a Superman villain, and they chose Parasite. His first appearance is the one they chose, 1968 as well, Action Comics issue number 340. So there's a lot of good stuff included here. You know, this is the Best of DC, like the Blue Ribbon Digest. I do remember I have a big treasury that's a super villain treasury that includes some reprints of some other different villains' first appearances as well. Love that. So that is my AOK that came in last month from Steve's DC Super Stars. Steve, thank you again for thinking of me and sending this stuff my way. Truly appreciate it, but I appreciate your friendship and your support so much more. And always a great time when we get to talk to one another. So thank you so much. I do want to say before I move on, including showing you a purchase that I made that was inspired by Steve's DC Superstars, that if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love it if you could show some support by doing so. I'm at 926 subscribers, so I got that first 25 of the 900s covered. Now we're working on trying to get to 950 and then eventually to the ultimate goal of 1,000. Share this video or this channel with someone that you think might be interested, or subscribed is a great way to show support to my channel. Giving the video a thumbs up, a heart, a like. The algorithm digs it when you do that. I love reading your comments, which I'll be asking for at the end of today's video. So those are all great ways of showing support to my channel, and I can't thank you enough. If you're a returning viewer to the channel, definitely appreciate you always coming back to. Never take that for granted. If you've been a returning viewer of my channel, you know one thing that I'm working on is my Justice League of America Volume 1 run. I am down to 3 issues that I need. I can't believe it. And we're going to take one off of that list because, courtesy of eBay, or Evil Bay as I like to call it, I have Justice League of America Volume 1, Issue 15 from 1963 in my collection. So this is Gardner Fox and Mike Sikowski. Mike doing the artwork, Gardner Fox being the writer of this. This was an issue that I was starting to worry about getting. I kind of felt like a time deadline in getting this issue because in just a few months, John's Comics with Kids and I will be doing our JLA versus Avengers show where we battle this issue out. Now, this upcoming Wednesday, which is tomorrow night, May 28th, if you're watching this video on its original Tuesday afternoon drop date, John and I are doing the next JLA versus Avengers here on my YouTube channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and we're doing issue 13. So we take JLA issue 13, and then we take Avengers issue 13, both Silver Age, and decide who had the better issue 13, which book did it. And you'll help us if you're in the live chat. If you're watching this video after May 28th, it's already been archived in a playlist folder that I have on my channel. Just look for that and you can catch up with it too, but it's always great to have you in the live chat. I haven't read this issue yet, just specifically because I know in a few months I'll be doing that. Like I said, we're about to do issue 13. This is issue 15. So in 2 months, this issue will be up. And we'll be comparing it to the Avengers issue. So that's why I haven't read it yet. I found it on eBay one morning before I went to work. It's one that I saw when it first got listed. I just watched it, and then it was about to come, the time was about to come up right before I was getting ready to leave for work one morning. So I just stayed a few extra moments to watch it, put in a sniping last minute bid, and I got it. And I paid a really good price for this. I'm happy with, like a VG plus type copy, which is what I'd say this one is. And I got it at a very good price. So now having been able to pick this up, I go from 3 JLA books to 2. And here's the 2 that are left on the list. I can't believe that I'm down to 2 issues, 17 and 19, and that series is wrapped up. I started this out as a 3-year goal for myself to finish this project, and I'm only a year and a half through. I'm halfway through and I'm down this far. Now that's the way I like to set and crush a goal. When I set a goal, it's literally a coin flip as to which is going to be the last one that I need. For some odd reason, I thought that maybe this one would be the last one that I need. I know that I was never big on this cover, but now that I have the cover in person and see it as opposed to just looking at scans of it online, I kind of like the cover a lot better than I did before. So when I get around to reading it, here's hoping that the story lives up to as much as I've enjoyed the cover. Wow, 2 to go. I'm about to show you a purchase that I made that was inspired by Steve's DC Super Stars. But before I do, I want to let you know that I got a special video coming up. It is a comic book that's a ghost. It's a grail. It's an untold story, and it's about time to tell the story. It will be coming up in my Comic Book Editions Volume 242 video. So just in a couple weeks, you're going to find out and see what this book is. It's been graded. I don't know the grade, so we're going to have a grade reveal as well. I'll probably yak. I'm a talker, as you can tell. And, but stick with me through it because I think you'll be impressed. I want to say so much more, but I don't want to give anything away. Just make plans in a couple weeks. We're in Comic Book Editions Volume 240 this week. So 2 more weeks from today, and this video will be dropping. And I can't wait to share this with you. I love sharing my comic book journeys with you. You guys mean the world to me. Steve's DC Super Stars inspired my next pickup. It was this. Check out this 11x17 print. So Steve posted this maybe back in the fall on his Instagram, and I'm like, what is that and where can I get one of these? I had totally missed out. This was a C2E2 2024 Heroes Initiative exclusive, and it sold out during the con. I knew nothing of this until I saw Steve post this. It was limited to 200 copies, and they're numbered. I have number 55 of 200, and it's signed on the bottom by Garcia Lopez. Of course he did. This is the classic DC style guide work from, the early to mid 80s that he did. And this piece, I've seen this image many times, but it's such a wonderful piece with so many great characters. And I definitely will think of Steve when I look at this, first of all, from the sheer fact that it has Plastic Man on it. And I don't have a lot of Plastic Man in my collection. And Plastic Man's one of Steve's favorite characters. And so many of his other favorite characters and mine are on here as well. We've got Donna Troy in that red jumpsuit way in the back. We have Signature King's favorite Shazam in there. Of course, we have the big three right at the top, and so many great Justice League members and Teen Titan members, and this thing has fantastic written all over it. I had saw this back in the fall when I was at a comic book store about 45 minutes away, and I almost bought it then. But a few weeks ago, at the beginning of this month for Free Comic Book Day, that's where I went. And I'd gone there last year for Free Comic Book Day. I went back and they had a big sale going on, and all the back issues were 25% off, and everything else in the store was, all the back issues were 50%, and everything else in the store is 25% off, is what I meant to say. So with this being 25% off, I'm like, can't resist it anymore. Picked it up, and I was smiling as I picked it up, and I've been smiling ever since to have it into my collection. Like I said, I wouldn't known about it if it wasn't for Steve. So greatly appreciative of him tipping me off to this. It's a fantastic piece. And, I believe very much in the Heroes Initiative and the work that they do. I don't know what else to say about this, except I'm just so happy to have this. I had thought about it since last fall when I first saw it in that store, and earlier this month when I was there, I'm just like, I don't feel that it was calling to me. I feel it was screaming at me, take me home, take me home. So I did. So this was my purchase inspired by Steve's DC Superstars, and couldn't be more happy to have it in my collection. Let's, before we wrap up, why don't we do a little bit of a follow-up? In my Comic Book Editions 237 video, I shared with you some DC toys that I got at Wendy's, and I had the gold versions of Wonder Woman, Artemis, and Black Lightning. Well, now I have the green versions to go with them as well. I'm not trying to get every color, but I was back at Wendy's gobbling up some good food. Ooh, those Baconator fries. And decided to get those as well. The guy at the counter was kind enough to also hook me up with the blue versions of them. So I only think I'm missing one color, which is the red. And if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I'm really not seeking it out. I'm happy with the ones that I have right now. And one thing that these come with, they're in a box, and all three figures are in a box. And you also get very miniature, tiny trading cards. So here we have Wonder Woman, and we have Black Lightning, and we have Artemis. So those are little cute things that came with them too. And I just thought I'd follow up on those with you and share that I added a few more into my collection. I've also been working on those Kinder cards, and sometime in the future, probably won't be in the next couple of weeks, but I want to share with you an update on how I've done with my DC Kinder cards that I've been trying to collect, and especially trying to get Wonder Woman. Remember that day I opened up nothing but Cyborg. Oh my God, that was driving me crazy. So that's something I want to do in the future. I want to do a video. These are all kind of long-term stuff I want to talk about for my channel. I want to do a video of comic books that I got that were all upgrades. Books I already had, but I wanted to upgrade my copies of them. I want to do that in the future. Probably around July, we'll do a Superman video and a Fantastic Four video of comic books related to those characters' hauls that I've picked up. So that's some of the long-term stuff that I want to do. In the near future, next week, for Comic Book Editions Volume 241, I have a prize win and an AOK from John's Comics with Kids. And this was from his 3K, I Love You 3000 subscriber giveaway, and then an AOK that was included with it as well. So I want to share that with you next week. Then the week after is that huge Grail video, 242, that I was just talking about, an unboxing, a grade reveal, a story of how I obtained a comic book that's pretty much a ghost. So look for those in the immediate future. Thank you again to my friend Steve's DC Superstars. Steve, you are awesome. Roscoe, meow. Thank you guys for making it to the end of today's video. My back issue of the week YouTube short is in tribute to a comic book writer, Peter David, that we lost this past weekend. So it's a Spider-Man comic book, and with Memorial Day being yesterday, it's a comic book where a character passes away. It was just a really good comic book. I have some of his stuff in my collection, and this one I always like, so I decided to feature that in tribute to him. My back issue of the week is currently on my YouTube channel. Then this upcoming Sunday for Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, Signature King, Silver Haired Bronze Age Babe, myself, and special guest Super Russ 9000 will do Superman Flash races as the retro review. So join me for that Sunday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 7:15 p.m. Central on my YouTube channel. You made it to the end of this Comic Book Editions Volume 239 video. Oops, it's Volume 240 video. And I appreciate you so much. Have a great, fantastic, wonderful rest of your week. And I'll catch you soon. Oh, and don't forget the JLA versus Avengers tomorrow night on my channel too with John's Comics with Kids. Bye.